Hey, do you want to become an all-rounded better DJ? Then today I've got 10 tips for you to become a better DJ. Let's get stuck in. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, number one. The first things first, to become a DJ, you have to learn or have some sort of natural rhythm. And that, for me, is having an ear for music. For when I first started out, I knew for some reason that I had this natural ability just to sort of understand the structure of music, play piano at an early age. So that's probably a good point, is if you're a musician, then you'll be able to become a DJ a bit better because you'll get taught how to play along to a certain rhythm. If you're not a musician and you're not into rhythms yourself, it is actually quite easy to learn. Once you know how, you get a bit of skill behind you, you learn the structure of music and the phrasing and etc. And you'll be able to get the rhythm that you need to become a DJ. Number two is being technical minded. So the thing is with DJing, some things go wrong, so you need to be able to have the savviness to understand how to fix those problems quickly. The other thing is that you use a lot of DJ software, so setting up that DJ software on a laptop, for example, is key, as you need to organise and change all the preferences. Especially if you're doing live streaming, you might need to change the preferences and use extra software like OBS to then talk to each other and then connect that to maybe Mixcloud or Facebook, for example. So you need to have some sort of technical mindedness about you. If you don't at the beginning, there's plenty of tips on beatmatchguru.com. Check that out, that's my blog. And there's loads of YouTube advice out there and on my channel as well, so you'll be able to pick up technical aspects of DJing and DJ equipment as well, plugging in all the cables, etc. So yeah, being technical minded is definitely a requisite of DJing in my opinion. Number three, I would say, is networking. And from my past experience of moving to a different country for a year, you definitely have to utilise those networking skills more than necessary, actually, and that's to get into the local scene, go speak on the local scene forums, music forums online, connect with people on LinkedIn, chat online on Facebook, get to know people, friends of friends, go out to those local scene nightclubs and the bars where they're playing the particular music that you want to play at as well, and just become a regular, see if you can help out maybe, and see if people want some help flyering for a particular event, and if you get in with those people and you can help do other events at different locations as well. So yeah, even getting into the local radio scene helped me out when I was out in Melbourne, Australia. The DJs out there then said, oh, we actually DJ on Kiss FM and different local radio as well, so I got into that, DJing live as well. So yeah, it's really helpful. Get networking, that's definitely a skill. Number four is your ability to read the crowd. So a bit of a pet peeve of mine is when I've been to see DJs in the past and then they're just looking down, looking at the mixer, and it's sort of makes me slightly frustrated inside, because I love the DJs that are interacting with the crowd, reading their responses to the particular tunes that you're playing. And for me, I like that with DJ Marky, drum and bass DJ. He's a Brazilian guy. He's absolutely brilliant. I remember being at The End in London. It's a club called The End in London. It's shut down now. But they actually had, DJ Marky actually was doing his own label night. It was quite liquid and melodic drum and bass. But after a while we were saying to each other, oh, wouldn't it be great if we get some heavier jump up type style drum and bass? And yeah, a few minutes later we started playing a bit more jump up, get the crowd partying and stuff. So that's his ability to read the crowd and understand what they're reacting to on that night, you know. So that's a really good skill, and I think that transitions over from being a wedding DJ as well to a mobile DJ, corporate DJ, whatever type of DJ. In some instances you might not need to read the crowd as much because you're just DJing the music in the background more so, but it's really important to read the crowd in the majority of DJing environments. So make sure that's a skill that you practice and be aware of, reading the crowd. Number 5 is practicing under pressure. And by that, what I mean is practicing not just like at home on your own in your bedroom. Put some pressure on it and DJ live, or DJ live on a digital podcast or a digital live radio show, for example, and make sure your mixing counts. So, and you know what as well, like even just record your DJ sets as well, and every time you DJ at home, hit record and just listen back, and then you can critique your own DJ sets and figure out where you've gone wrong, or where you might improve. Like even like if you've started clipping channel 1 and you should have turned down the gain or the trim, or like a blend with the EQ was slightly off and you had too much of the subs going at the same time, and you should have blended out one and smoothly transitioned into channel 2, for example. So it's little things like that help you replicate the pressure that's needed at home or in the studio, and then put those skills into the actual going out and DJing live in a club, for example, later on. So you haven't got like a massive learning curve going into the live environment. You've got a bit of that pressure experience. So get practicing DJ live under pressure. Number 6, I would say this is a personal favourite of mine, is knowing all of your music. So like I said, practice under pressure, but know your music inside out as well. Because for me, if I know that I need to change song really quickly, and I want to mix it in quickly, then I know exactly the part of the track that I want to mix in and get that track into the mix as soon as possible. Or if you know that you just want to play a little snippet and then pull the track back out again, for example, like just a section of the vocal, then you know exactly where to go into that segment of the music track on your DJ software, for example. The added benefit to that, so there's a little trick or a tip here, is to put marker points or cue points and hot cues throughout your track in Rekordbox or Serato DJ, for example. So that will help you segment and understand where you need to jump into different parts of the track, depending on the type of mix that you want to play. So yeah, make sure you know your music inside out, and then that'll give you more confidence when you're DJing live. Number 7, I would say number 7 is having decent quality headphones. So you may have seen on my channels, I've done a bit of testing and bought some various different price points of headphones, but the Sennheiser's HD25s are the ones that I've picked for DJing right at this moment. Like I said in my past videos, I've had them before. They broke, but then I managed to figure out that you can actually fix them. So yeah, I would go with them. The quality of the audio for me is really key, is having that balanced low to mid to high end sort of frequency range. With some headphones around £60, so it's about £40 to £60 cheaper than the Sennheiser HD25s. I've got the Pioneers, and they're like, the quality's not as great, put it that way. So the bass was a bit more prominent and louder, and I found that a bit annoying when I was trying to DJ, and then that forces me to move the EQs on the DJ mixer itself. So my advice would be to test some headphones out for yourself, make sure they're quality headphones, and you'll be good as gold when you go out to DJing in a club, or even when you're at home doing live streaming, for example. Number 8, make sure you back up your music and you have a backup set of cables, adapters and everything when you're at home or wherever you're going to gigs, for example. So the reason for having backup music is that if you lose it, you simply have that backup of music to then crack on and not worry about not having any music to DJ with, especially if something goes wrong with the technical fault with the equipment, for example. So always have a backup. And for the cables and the adapters, you don't know what's going to happen at a live gig or when you're DJing live. You might just need those cables or adapters just last minute. So it's always worth having them, and it helps to make you look a bit more professional when you're DJing, because you know, to the person that's running the event, they know, oh, that he's organised, you know, he's got his shizzle together. So yeah, make backups of your music and bring backup cables and even headphones as well, and adapters. Number 9, I would say as a DJ, you need to persist. So that is willingness to succeed. You've got to have that desire, that passion to keep going. So if you get one hit and knock down a DJ set, you played too early, you were doing the opening set of a night and there was no one there, and then you're feeling down about it, don't feel down. You have to crack on. If that is your ultimate goal, is to get to a high level of DJing, you're going to have some crap events and crap DJing. You might have made some mistakes. Learn from it. Don't actually just dwell on the past. Focus on the now. Give yourself a pat on the back for doing as well as you can. There's always things that you will learn from your DJing. And yeah, if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're not going to get anywhere. But yeah, have your goal in mind, learn from your mistakes, and keep persevering. You will get there if you want to, and you will get there one day. Promise. Number 10, my final tip is to always bring with you some earplugs to DJ gigs. So these are very important for a DJ. So even when you're practicing at home, make sure you've got the volumes down as well. But when you're out at a gig, whether you're a wedding DJ or a mobile DJ, make sure you've got a pair of earplugs that you can the squidgy ones that you can put in your ear later on in the night. Because if you're DJing for an hour and the music's really loud, you still want to protect your ears. So make sure you've got some in your bag. If you're DJing a wedding, or if you're a mobile DJ and you might be DJing a party event, it could be 4 to 6 hours long. You know, that's quite a large exposure to loud music up and down throughout that amount of time. So having those earplugs can really help. The added tip, if you wanted to even invest in them, they're quite a bit of money, but you can get noise cancelling headphones, so you can only hear what's in the queuing on the mixer, and you can't hear outside as much. So that's an extra tip if you wanted to go the extra mile to protect your hearing. So yeah, get some earplugs and protect your hearing. Get it done. So I hope you enjoyed that. That were my top 10 tips as a DJ myself and teaching others. They're sort of like an amalgamated list over the last 6 months of working on beatmatchguru.com. So if you want some more advice on DJing and how you want to get better, check out this channel, click on the next video, of course, and check out Beatmatch Guru, type it into Google and you'll get loads of DJ tips and tricks. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.